So,
We're talking about money.
so,
Bootstrapping and then typical day. Yes.
and your average day is basically part of the sacrifices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when
They're
you're
long, hard days.
now when you're finished, and if it's successful,
If it's successful,
then what would be your average day then?
if it's successful, then an entrepreneur becomes more like a regular person with a job. And you get to go home at night and see your family. You get to have a paycheck, which is something that founders usually don't have at the beginning of their company. If it's successful, the best part of it is you've solved a problem for the people who use your thing.
Now, what if you're just in it for the money? What if let's say you want to create a time machine and not even sell it to important reasons, just sell it for money. How?
Some people do just build a company to try to make money. But in order for them to make money, they still have to solve somebody's problem. That's what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur basically sees a problem that has gone unsolved in the world, like Google, for example. They saw the World Wide Web, the whole internet being built, and they were like, wait a minute, how is anybody supposed to find anything? All this information is going onto the web, but how are you supposed to find it? So Larry and Sergey, the guys who founded Google, said, we're going to organize the world's information and make it accessible to all. And that's the mission of Google. And so for me, I saw the problem of, all kids need to learn how to write. They need to learn how to speak well. They need to learn how to read well. And they have to learn how to collaborate. They need to learn how to collaborate and solve problems. And if they don't do that, it's going to be really hard for them to get jobs in the future. And then it'll be really hard for all of us to benefit from all the creative minds that are in our schools that maybe weren't doing as well as they could. And I know that in the city of Chicago, for example, there are so many smart kids who could build cool things and solve big problems, but they can only do that if they have the skills.
So basically what you're saying is every investor has an idea, but no matter how hard they try to make it something that won't solve a problem, it will solve somebody's problem?
Well, the thing about it is people make money because people give them money because they have solved a problem.
Now, I have a question back to investors. Do you have to pay them back when it's successful? Or
yeah, I mean...
Or do you just pay it back by the company because they're your partner?
Yeah, I mean, the company is who they've lent money to, not you as an individual. When they sign the documents that make them partners, they sign documents with a legal entity that's your company. So if your company is purchased by another company, like let's say somebody came along and said, we want to own that business, we're going to give you $100 million for that business, then whatever percentage of the company that investor owns, they'll get that percentage of the $100 million. So if they gave you half the money you needed to get started, then they get half the money from when you sold it.
What if you don't sell it? What if you pass it on? You keep on passing it on, and the next era
ever sell it,
and the next person always improves it.
Well, in that case, you actually give them dividends. So basically, you give them a share of the profits every year.
Now, why don't you just, when you are done with it, if it's successful, if it's like super duper successful and you can get hundreds of millions of dollars off of it, would you sell it? And let's take an example where your family can't afford to live anymore.
So would I sell it to help my family?
Yeah.
Always, of course. But as far as would I sell it for money?
But if your family was fine, would you sell it?
Only if I knew that they could do a better job. Like if somebody came along and said, we'd like to take your idea and your technology and make it even better so that we can help more people, I would sell it. But if they, sometimes people buy
What
companies.
if you could improve it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people buy companies to put a stop to competition, to put them out of business, basically. And they'll pay you off to stay out of the business. If that were happening, I wouldn't do it. So basically my point is, I am in this to solve a problem.
So basically, you can't be bought out unless you don't want to. And also, so I agree with you. I wouldn't sell the business either because no matter how much money you get, you know that you're not helping people anymore.
Right.
And that's probably
the whole
the
point
best
of doing all this.
And probably the best feeling in the world is knowing you can help someone.
Mm-hmm. When I know that kids became better writers and better students and got higher scores on their math tests because of Think Circa, that's what makes me feel good because I know that I've changed the opportunities that those kids have in their lives.
Now, how do you like being an entrepreneur? Do you think, what are the sunny sides to it other than all the sacrifices?
The sunny side is just what I just described. The sunny side is you get to walk into a classroom and see kids who are doing better in school because of you. And teachers one teacher said to me that she was really happy because she feels like she has a better relationship with her students because she can sit there and talk to them during class while they're writing and while they're discussing important things, which she could never do before because she was always up there teaching at the front of her classroom. You know what I mean?
What were what subjects would you say a school would use Think Circa in?
Schools use it in their English language arts and reading classes, and they also use it in their social science and science classes, like their history and science classes as well.
Would they use it in writing?
Some use them in math.
Would they use them in writing, writing workshop?
Oh yeah, that's what we teach is writing, and essentially we use we teach kind of academic writing, and so that means you're usually writing about a topic or a text. You're not just writing off the top of your head. You're usually writing in response to some other topic or text.
Okay, yeah, that's all the questions I had.
You did a great job at interviewing.